Hey guys, welcome to Juicy Tea, where I read out the best stories on Reddit, so you don't have to. The funny, shocking, and satisfyingly juicy. My fiancé proposed to me, but it turns out the ring is fake. He bought a name brand box off eBay. Our first story comes from the Best of Redditor Update subreddit, posted by I Know a Cheap Ass. So, my fiancé Mark, 30 male, and I, 25 female, have been together for 2 years. 2 months ago, he asked me to marry him and gave me a beautiful Cartier engagement ring. I was really excited, and of course, I said yes. It was a beautiful ring, and I was excited to be marrying the man I love. The other day, Mark and I worked together. I overheard 2 co-workers talking about Mark. Someone mentioned that Mark makes so much money, but he didn't even buy his girlfriend a real ring. The person asked for clarification, and it turns out that Mark bought a Cartier box off eBay, then bought a CZ ring to put in the box. I just googled it, and a CZ is basically a fake diamond. I didn't want to believe it. Then I took my ring to a jeweler to get it checked. My ring is essentially worthless. It isn't anywhere near a real diamond. Mark is away on business right now. I'm so upset that I haven't answered any of his calls or texts. I don't know what to say. Am I wrong for being this upset? I'm honestly starting to think that this is a deal breaker. He's so cheap and stingy with his money. But at least I thought he'd buy me a good ring when I know he can afford it. What should I do? Too long didn't read. My boyfriend bought me a fake engagement ring and put it in a Cartier box to pass it off. Bragged to people we work with about what he did. I'm hurt and furious, and honestly, considering throwing that fake cheap ring at his face. Down in the comments, Big B says, "Mark, let's go get the ring appraised, for insurance purposes. It's so beautiful, I want to make sure it's protected." Then, watch as his world burns around him. Riari says, "Hold up, he's bragging about tricking you to people at work? Lord have mercy! Is this fool stupid? He must be, because anyone that's worked in an office knows that gossip spreads like wildfire. Not only is he stupid, but he's a scammer with no respect for your intelligence. That ain't love. Is he seriously 30 damn years old? Ditch this loser, he ain't worth it. And when he asks you why, tell him you want someone that will take you seriously, not an effing clown." Update. I'm not a selfish or materialistic person. I just expect honesty from my future spouse. Nothing more, nothing less. I haven't taken a dime from Mark. Everything nice that I have was paid for by me. I don't need to be with him for his money because I have my own. What I do want is consideration and thoughtfulness from my partner, not lies. If he'd even got me something that was made from silver with my birthstone, I'd have accepted it because at least it came from the heart and showed some thought behind it. I did not, in any way, shape or form, demand a brand name ring or any sort of ridiculously expensive ring. Anyway, long story short, I finally answered Mark's calls and kept it as calm as I could. I told him that I wanted to take an insurance policy out on the ring because it was very valuable and I was taking it to an appraiser. Mark immediately shut up and told me that I shouldn't do that until he got back, that he already had a warranty in place at the jeweler, and that I shouldn't make big decisions without him. After he stopped spouting off reasons, I told him it was too late. I already took the ring to a jeweler and knew that not only was it a worthless piece of glass, but also silver-plated. The bastard stammered, and the only intelligent thing that came out of his mouth was, "You took it to a real jeweler?" Huge fight over finances, selfishness, and lying ensued. He accused me of being a gold digger, and I refuted this by asking him to try and remember the last time I ever made him pay for anything or buy me anything. He had no answer. I said, I want no part of something based on a lie, and hung up. I switched my Facebook status from engaged to single. Oh, and changed the locks on our apartment, and gave our dog to my sister to make sure that he didn't try to keep him. I paid for the dog and all of his shots. He'll have a fun time trying to get in when he comes back from his travel. Edit, realised that I need to give the idiot a written letter that says he has 30 days to vacate. I'm giving him the letter the second he walks in. We'll give him a spare key if he insists on staying. Darn! My parents want me to delay proposing to my girlfriend, and they're both mad I said no to that. Our next post comes from the Too Hot Takes subreddit, posted by a throwaway account. I'm going to propose to my girlfriend on Friday. I told my dad and stepmother as they invited us over for dinner Friday night. I reminded them that it's our anniversary and said I was going to propose. Their reaction threw me off because they were both happy for me, but they also asked me to delay my proposal. They said it was because of one of my sisters. They said she was hopeful about getting engaged soon and I should wait until after that before I propose. My mother and stepfather also feel the same way. That sister is in a relationship. However, they've been together for 9.5 years. They have a son and a daughter. They own a condo and a business together, but they aren't married. My sister's partner says he's fine without getting married, and he feels he doesn't need a piece of paper for their relationship to be real. He's been clear, he doesn't want marriage. My sister, on the other hand, really wants to be married and to have a wedding. I don't think I should have to wait. Firstly, because I don't believe a proposal is imminent, like my dad and mum said. Secondly, I don't think I should have to put my life on hold just for my sister's life, and I don't think her being upset about me getting married when she isn't is on me. My sister has more money than I do. She's a loving partner and beautiful and healthy kids. If she's upset about me getting engaged, she needs to look at herself. I told my mum and dad, I'm not putting anything on hold. I don't care if the news of my engagement will upset my sister. They didn't take it well, even if they reiterated how happy they are that I'm proposing. They want me to reconsider. What? Your sister's partner's made it very clear he doesn't want to or plan to propose. Why would they think he's about to pop the question? Unless it's like a 10-year anniversary thing. Either way, your proposing wouldn't impact their proposal. My brother slept with and ran off with my ex, and now wants an invite to my wedding, getting my parents uninvited in the process. Our next story comes from the Entitled People subreddit, posted by a throwaway account. I, 24 male, wasn't even going to make a post about this, but my brother, who I'll call Turk, 25 male, made 4 posts about it, so I thought I should share my side of the story. For the sake of simplicity, I'll use the same names he did. My fiancée is Maria, 24 female, and my ex is Jen, 24 female. 5 years ago, my brother started dating Maria, my now fiancée. 3 months after they started dating, they set me up with her now ex best friend Jen. The 4 of us did a lot together since the girls were best friends. Turk and Maria dated for a year, and Jen and I dated for 9 months. At the end of our relationship, I came home early and found Turk and Jen having sex in my bed. After I processed the situation, I called Maria because I'd want to know if I was in her place. She came over and we confronted Turk and Jen. They dumped us, and I found out 2 days later they started dating each other. It broke me. I came home to find my brother effing my girlfriend, only to run off with her. I had to move back in with my parents. It was infuriating because they kept talking about how happy Jen and Turk were. Wow, that is toxic. Throughout the next couple of months, Maria and I started talking. We were 2 people in similar bad situations, and we found some comfort in each other. 4 months after we got dumped, Maria and I officially started dating. 6 months after we got dumped, Turk found out that Jen was cheating on him, and she left him for the other guy. I actually only found this out today from reading Turk's post. Maria would occasionally get a message from Turk trying to reconnect, but she'd ignore him. Anyway, moving on to now, Maria and I are engaged and getting married in September. My parents were invited until my mum called me and threatened not to come if I didn't invite Turk. I told her not to bother coming regardless. In my mother's eyes, Turk can do no wrong. When he effed and started dating my ex, I told my parents everything he did, and my mum tried defending him. How do you even defend that? Oh, he probably just slipped in a banana peel and ended up inside your girlfriend. Accidents happen. Our relationship isn't great, but it was somewhat decent. After I uninvited my parents, I only uninvited mum, but dad texted me saying he wasn't coming if mum isn't. Turk blew up my phone, trying to get hold of me. This is the first time he's even tried reaching out to me in 4 years. Like I said before, Turk posted about this situation here on Reddit. Apparently, my parents told him that Maria and I were getting married, and that's what started this whole thing of them getting uninvited. He stopped calling me, but now he's blowing up my phone with texts begging me to re-invite my parents and possibly give him an invite. He's so gonna rock up at the wedding and try and win back his ex or some BS. So yeah, I just want to get my side out there. Down in the comments, Katana1369 says, "Dear God, you expected the person you cheated on to take your cheating ass back, and you're shocked to discover that your brother doesn't want your cheating ass at his wedding. Go figure." Am I the a-hole for being mad at my fiancée after she banned strippers at my bachelor party? Posted by K Lavishness 5574. I, 29 male, and my fiancée Ava, 28 female, are planning a wedding. Ava put down a boundary that there be no strippers or strip clubs at my bachelor party or at her bachelorette party. I'm not the kind of guy that visits strip clubs. I don't see the point. Ava said she couldn't take the chance that I would cheat on her with a stripper and marry them. I was offended because I've never once even thought about cheating. She was accusing me of being a potential cheater with no proof. Ava defended herself because a friend of a friend, Clara, had strippers at her bachelorette party and she left her fiancé for one of them, so it could happen. I'd met Clara and her husband and kids. They seemed happy and in love. I said that her story means 1, that Ava's more likely to cheat, and 2, that it wouldn't happen because I wouldn't take Ava back if she did cheat on me with a stripper. Ava threw a fit and said that no strippers meant no strippers. I think she's missing the point. You're not upset about there being no strippers. You're upset about her implied accusation. I was furious because she was accusing me of being a potential cheater with no evidence. She said I had no reason to be upset. Edit. I don't drink, and I wouldn't have had strippers in the first place. I'm upset because she said that she didn't want strippers because she thought I could cheat on her and marry a stripper. Down in the comments, Perpetual Panda says, I broke up with a fiancé when he told me his idea of a bachelor party was getting the best blowjob ever from a stripper. He absolutely saw nothing wrong with this and didn't understand why it was a deal breaker for me. P&B Steve says, I don't understand why some men boast it's your last night of freedom, as if they haven't been in a committed relationship this whole time. Yeah, that whole concept of last night of freedom is weird. Like, you know you're allowed to stay single for life, right? But anyway, I don't think OP is the a-hole. He wasn't trying to push her boundary of no strippers. I actually think she's being a bit of an a-hole herself for the accusation, and it's kind of concerning how little she trusts her future hubby. Groom proposed an hour before the ceremony. Our next post comes from the r/wedding shaming subreddit. Posted by Heather B. Gonna shame my own wedding and groom. I met my now husband 10 years ago in college and was ready to marry him one day. 6 years in, we'd made appointments to make our own wedding bands with a blacksmith, but had to cancel due to unexpectedly moving across the country to work again. We waited, and at some point, he got stuck on never getting married. I think part of it was the pressure I put on a perfect proposal, and knowing that we'd have to deal with my difficult parents. Our lives together have been great. We own a house together. He said he wanted to spend the rest of his life with me, but marrying just wasn't in his plans. It was heartbreaking because everything else about him and our relationship is perfect. After COVID settled down, on our 9-year anniversary, I brought up the idea of getting married again. Our 10-year would land on a Saturday, and I love the idea of keeping our date the same. He said he was open to it and we could talk further. It was a slow build, but he agreed to marry me. He was involved with the planning, and I was careful to not overwhelm him. I can get excited and blurt out a million ideas sometimes. I gave him certain things to be in charge of that I knew he would enjoy, and he would give feedback, and we had a really good time putting our wedding together as a team. I went to do photos before the ceremony, so both our families met at the venue 2 hours before the wedding. We were nearing the end of the photos when he suddenly got down on one knee. It was so unexpected, something I was sure I would never get to experience. He proposed in front of our entire families, and it was perfect. I cried, he cried even more, and I said yes. So yeah, we had a 55-minute engagement and a wonderful wedding filled with laughter and happiness. I will tease him for the rest of our lives about how long he made me wait and how patient I am. Remember, I post new content every day, so subscribe for more juicy tea.